Welcome back everyone to the Irish Furian. I am the Irish Furian. I just want to show you this here. This is some leaflets that have been given around Cork here today. And as you can see, it says, uses the word love and Cork and hate racism. So Cork Communities United. So basically what this is this is a deep state propaganda information leaflet. What this does is joining us the fight against the far right, whatever that is. So cost of living, then protest, Christ aren't right. So what this is when there's a new influx, every time there's a new influx of migrants from disparate parts of the world into Ireland where they've been incentivized to come here, to counteract people getting jilted by that or feeling that they have to rise and up and actually do something about it. This gets funded and propagandized to the Irish people. So every time, I noticed today, I was sitting in a coffee shop and I noticed a Muslim family. Now, I have nothing against Muslims. I think they're perfectly good and moral people. I don't think they should be in Ireland as such in any number at all, really, because I think Ireland should stay a Christian country. However, I did see two Muslim women with a Muslim man, and one of the Muslim women had a baby in a pram. These women were different. I'd never seen them before. Now, Cork has gotten very busy. So for me to be able to just pick them out of the crowd was a feat. And basically their hijabs that they wore over their heads, that they covered their heads with, were very colourful, but they weren't of the Indonesian variety, which usually wears the very colourful headscarves. These were North African looking women, and they were puffing hard on cigarettes, and they were very demonstrative in the way that they in the way that they behaved, more like Irish people actually, very expressive and demonstrative in their gestures and facial expressions to each other. You don't usually see that with Muslim people coming in here from other countries. So I straight away I knew this was a new crowd. So I'm thinking that there's a new batch after coming in, not just them, but lots with them. At this particular time. So what I know is that every time they push for a new swathe of people to come into the country, they have pushes against any dissent against that by things like this and online. In fact, the word racist is racism and racism is solely to silence the voice of native peoples as their land is being invaded and occupied. And you can look up Richard Henry Pratt, who was a general in the American military. He was the first, so as the agenda narrative goes, he was the first known person to have used that term, because he actually had a saying that the only good Indian is a dead Indian. And what he meant by that was not to kill them, but to actually assimilate them into the incoming culture into America, which is the culture that was coming with the US Army. And all the other army authorities wanted to segregate. And he said, no, if you want them to actually properly get rid of the Indian, you have to assimilate them completely. And that way then you get rid of the Indian. And so any of the ones that didn't want to do that, they were called racists. And it wasn't a negative term at the time. It wasn't laden with a negative slant. Basically just meant that the ones that did want to hold on to their culture, their identity, their dress, sense of dress, their dress identity, their language, they were termed as racists. So that apparently that is where the word first came from. But this is it, you see, this is why it's pushed every time when, and of course, Lucifer has been known to, come and disguise himself as an angel of light. And there you go with your little love talk. They like to dress it up and coach it in nice language so that nothing's unsuspecting. You'll never see a dark thing. It'll always be coached in nice language, nice colours, and attractive and alluring, because it has to be in order to be accepted. So again, this is what I'm saying, is that these things get pushed when there's an influx. Yeah, same with the murals on the side of the boards and the walls. Every time there's a new influx, a new mural will go up. saying not to throw stones in case you hit a kindred, this kind of thing. Irishman, you shouldn't raise a stone to a foreigner in case you hit one of your own, and that was put up along a long billboards along by the river at one stage when they just brought in another influx, and so they just fund it, and it's very smart, very emotionally smart psychological way to silence native voices.